Hi, I'm Samantha McDouglas from thebridgeteachers.com. Come look over my shoulder at a defense problem. Let's take a moment and look at this auction. Our left-hand opponent was the dealer. They opened one diamond, showing 3 or more diamonds and an opening hand or better. Our partner overcalled one heart, showing 5 or more hearts and 8 to 16 points. East passed. This should probably be less than 6 points. There's a chance that they're unable to bid because of partner's heart bid, but it is more likely that East is actually just a very weak hand. We passed. Our left-hand opponent made a reopening double, showing shortness in hearts and support for the other 3 suits. Our partner bid 1 spade. This is probably 5 hearts and 4 spades, and still within the 8 to 16 points. It went pass and pass, neither East nor ourselves choosing to bid, and our opponent now competed by bidding 2 clubs, pass, and we competed to 2 spades, pass, and East finally decided to bid and bid 3 clubs. And after that, everyone passed. We gain information on a hand from a couple of key places. The first place is the auction, which is why we take a moment to review the auction. On this auction, I would say that partner has at least 5-4 in the majors and probably an intermediate-ish hand, maybe a little bit better. West probably has a very good hand, and East is probably weak with long clubs. One of the other places that we get information from is dummy. So when partner makes the opening lead, we get a chance to look at dummy. We should absorb dummy. Once dummy comes down, this gives us an opportunity to see a whole new hand and gives us a lot more information. One of the other places that we get information is from how declarer chooses to play the hand. One of the things that we're thinking about on defense is, what is declarer's plan and what can we do to jam it up? So on this hand, that's what we're going to be focusing on. So we're going to play a couple of tricks, and then I'm going to ask you what declarer's plan is and how you would counter it. Declarer played the 6 of spades. We played low, saying we don't like the suit, and declarer won the ace. They now cash the king of spades. With partner following, they discarded the king of diamonds, and we again followed suit. Declarer now led the 3 of spades and trumped. We again followed suit, and now declarer led the 3 of hearts. We were compelled, because we have to follow suit, to play the ace, and partner also followed suit. So the first thing that I want to ask you is, how many hearts did declarer start this hand with? 1. We know that partner had 5 to begin with, and there were 6 in dummy. So between partner and dummy, there were actually 11 hearts. We had 1, which means that declarer also had 1. Declarer does not have any more hearts. What do you think declarer's plan is for this hand? It's to cross-ruff. So one of the things that I always want you thinking about is the trump suit, because this is a great launching point for these concepts. If you want to try and figure out how declarer is going to play the hand and what they're thinking about, how they handle the trump suit will give you your biggest clue. So I always want you thinking about the trump suit. I want you thinking about how many partner has. I want you thinking about how declarer is playing it, and in particular, their choice to play it or their choice to not play it. We are 4 tricks in. 3 of those declarer had control and could lead anything they wanted. They've been in both hands and could have led clubs from either hand. They didn't. Why not? Because their plan is to use their trump separately by cross-ruffing the hand. We look at the trump suit and we know that if their plan was not to cross-ruff, they would probably be drawing trump. But because their plan is to cross-ruff, they are not drawing trump. So we are gaining information about their plan by observing what they are doing. They also did the necessary things to start a cross-ruff, which is they voided themselves in both hearts and diamonds. Since they don't have any hearts in their hand and they don't have diamonds or spades in dummy, we can foresee that the next several tricks will be trumping a heart, trumping a diamond, trumping a heart, trumping a diamond. How do we counter this? By leading trump. At the heart of defense, at the heart of any bridge hand, actually, is what is good for my opponents is not good for me, and vice versa. What is good for me is bad for my opponents, because we have the exact opposite goal. Our goal is to take tricks. The opponent's goal is to take tricks, but those two are in opposition because every trick we take is a trick they don't take. So if it is good for declarer to lead trump, it's probably not good for us. But if it is not good for declarer to lead trump, it probably is good for us. So that is how you come to this, even without a really great understanding of the game. Just by starting and going, well, West isn't playing clubs. And so that tells me that playing clubs for me is probably a good idea. Let's look at all four hands. You can see that declarer has some pretty nice trump, and they are out of hearts. They have a bunch of hearts in east, and they are out of diamonds and spades in east and have a bunch in their hand. So they will be able to cross-ruff this hand. Our best way to counter is by leading trump. If you imagine that declarer could trump 4 hearts and could also trump 4 diamonds, how many tricks would that be? It would be 8. If they could take all 4 of the trump in dummy separately from all 4 of the trump in their hand, that's actually 8 tricks they get to take. But when we lead a club, we are forcing them to play 2 of their clubs together. So now, instead of being 8 tricks, it's only 7. And we will probably get a second chance to lead clubs, and when we do, we'll be able to reduce that even further. Even if we can't, if we never get an opportunity to lead clubs again until declarer has already scored all 6 of these trump, that's okay. We've still improved our score by 1. Rather than losing 8 of these clubs, we're now only going to lose 7. When declarer is planning on trumping something, a lot of times your best path to countering that is by leading trump. I know it can feel really counterintuitive to lead trump because that's usually something that declarer does. But if declarer doesn't want to do it, that's a really big clue that you do. There's nothing wrong with leading trump on defense. And particularly if you know that declarer is going to be trumping something, one of the best ways to stop that is by leading trump. Particularly if declarer is going to cross-ruff, forcing declarer to play their trump together instead of separately will reduce the number of tricks that they are able to take. Thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos.